Hello, Taurus. Welcome to Red Flora Tarot. Thank you for coming by. I'm going to do a little sound, opening the third eye. A little reception going for our Tauruses today. All right, Taurus. I'm so glad you were able to come by today and get a little reading. I'm going to shuffle these one more time. I had a bit of a lag in readings this month. I'll be real honest with you. It's been, I've been drained. I think I've been working really hard and playing really hard, and I don't know. It's June and June's almost over, and I was trying to get everybody done before the end of June. Well, it's the end of June. So Taurus, I'm going to pretty much focus on a time zone of July going forward. And let's see what we have going on for you, my dear Tauruses. What's been going on in your life? I hope you like this reading. You know, I really would love it if you liked, shared, and subscribed. If it speaks to you, it doesn't always speak to everyone. It is a general reading, so, you know, take it as you will. If it doesn't apply, that's okay. But I wish you would subscribe anyway, just to, you know, sometimes there's just bits and pieces that give light to something that's going on with you. I know it does for me. And every reader has got a really wonderful and unique way of approaching things. So I hope that my way of approaching things gives you a little insight to your life. All right, Taurus, let's get going here. Let's see what we've got. I'm using, of course, the Rider-Waite traditional tarot. And we're starting off with a big bang. Seven of Cups in the reverse. You know, I keep wanting to not do reversals on this. I'm going to do reversals because that's the way I started the reading and that's the way it's going to go. But sometimes I just don't feel the reversals. So we've got the musician, and we've got the Ace of Wands. All right, let's get the rest of these cards out and let's see what else is going on. Judgment. The Fool. Interesting. All right. Wow. Taurus. Taurus. So, starting off with Seven of the Cups. Let me take a minute here and just look at this. So, cups are always emotion. The Seven of Cups represents to me a certain amount of, I want to say, choices, but in the reverse there isn't a choice, at least in your mind, you know, because the Seven of Cups has a lot of fantasy behind it. There's a lot of things going on in one's mind when it's upright. So many choices, so many different avenues, so many dreams, so many ideas, thoughts, feelings, you know, these are emotions, and there's many of them. In the reverse speaks to perhaps being more practical, perhaps denying some of your feelings, not comfortable with some of the thoughts and emotions behind whatever's going on with you. We've got the Musician in the reverse as well, and on the other side we have the Ace of Wands in the upright. So what that's saying to me is perhaps you're putting something of yourself that you actually manifested through your dreams, through your desires, something that you had a great deal of emotion about. It actually, you know, the Wands, you know, this is the Ace of Wands being the beginning of a new something, a new venture, a new relationship, I don't see relationship here. What I see is this is a decision that maybe you held off from for a very long time, or maybe you had for a very long time, and it looks to be something that you know, you're feeling very intensely about, but you're withholding, you're holding back, you're contemplating, you're not sure if this is the right decision, the right choice. The Fool in the reverse, the Fool in the upright is someone who's, you know, ready to leap and take that next step, ready to go, right? And it's in reverse next to Judgment upright, where, you know, there's quite frankly, this is a good idea, whatever it is. Maybe you're, you know, you have a bit of fear-based feelings, emotions, thoughts about this idea, this thing, this next step. But you notice both Judgment and Temperance, you're being overlooked by the divine, right? The divine Temperance. This is very balanced emotional energy. So whatever your venture is, you know, it could be, and when I say venture, it could be business idea, it could be, you know, you want to go on an adventure, you want to go camping somewhere, you want to take a trip, a road trip out of state, or, you know, it didn't even have to be out of state, it could be, you know, up the road, you know, 100 miles or whatever, depending on where you live. Maybe you're being a little harsh on yourself about this. Maybe you don't feel like you deserve this. Maybe you feel, well, you're reticent, you know. But I think this is inspired. Something that you've been kind of holding down, denying, maybe harsh on yourself, feel like you don't deserve that. But you actually do. You actually have a great idea. Why you're denying it? Maybe you're lacking funds. Maybe, you know, you're lacking company. I think that if you had a great idea in your head to follow through on something, and you've been denying yourself that thing because of you know, people involvement or lack thereof, or financial means in which to follow through. And I get that, everybody has that. This doesn't have to be a huge thing. I think what the cards are saying here is that you're actually, this is a pretty good idea, and you know, it may inspire some of these things. The magician, this magician can make anything happen. I mean, literally. He's pushing down the ability to do that for one reason or another. The Fool is withholding. Is, you know, they're not taking that leap of faith for some reason. You know, finances are always finances. Yeah, you know, you need to pay your bills, but if you can find a way to step away, if it is just time that you need, you know, take that time in a less expensive way. Then, you know, find a way to give yourself this time, because the divine is saying that you kind of need it, my dear Taurus. It's a good idea. It might even be a great idea, and it is truly. I don't see anyone here. I see this something that you need, something that you desire, and something, quite frankly, that would give you balance, that would enable you to stop repressing some of these abilities that you have to give yourself happiness, if that makes sense. I'm going to pull a couple of other cards. One is Abraham Hicks' Law of Attraction, And then also Doreen withdrew Ascended Masters Oracle cards. So let's see, the first one we have, by segment intending, I can expand my time. So maybe you don't feel like you have enough time. Maybe it's not the money situation. Maybe it's the time. Let's see what it says. As you become efficient with your segment intending, you will expand your usable time by being clear about what you want during each important segment of your day. You will harness the law of attention to do its work, and it will require far less time for you to accomplish much, much more. So you've been denying yourself time. Yes? Time to just breathe, time to think, time to self-care, you know, and by allotting yourself a little bit of time, you know, you really can't take care of other people until you take care of yourself. If you're exhausted and you've been working and working and working and you haven't just taken care of you, you know, maybe that's just taking a nap, taking a bath, maybe that's, you know, going to the beach or to the river or to the lake or to the park and just sitting there, maybe reading a book, right? This is a segment of intended time that you've allotted to yourself to expand, to grow, to absorb the loveliness that which is you. And our little helper today would be Moses. Moses took it, how many days? He was in the, I'm sorry about the traffic. Moses took how many days to feel like he could handle the stuff that he had to handle, right? I mean, as an ascended master, Moses had to figure out who and what he was all about internally before he could help anybody else. So the cards are saying, my dear Taurus, that perhaps you need to take some time to take care of yourself. And that's not such a bad thing, right? And sometimes it takes all day. Quite frankly, it took me all day to sit down and get through these cards and get to these readings again, because I really like to be in a good headspace when I do this. Clear and an intent on giving you a good reading. Now, it doesn't always take all day, right? I mean, we each have our own unique way of caring for ourselves, and only we know what that is. You know, the cards are saying allow that, because you're magical, you know, and you can make that leap of faith because it's divine. And then maybe if you gave yourself the time to allow this idea, this thought, this feeling, this opinion, this emotion to grow within you, to feel more focused about it, because right now you're a little scattered, right? What better way to get focused than to allow yourself a little time to do that? My dear, dear Taurus, I hope you have a great July, and I'll see you next month. Thanks for stopping by.